Lauri Markkanen is currently circling trade rumors as we approach trade season. I may have found just the right team to trade for Markkanen in what will be quite a competitive market for him. I believe this trade will help both sides right now and in the future, but first, we gotta talk about Lauri. Coming straight off of an all-star and most improved season, Lauri hasn't looked like he has slowed down. He has missed some time early on, but is averaging 23.4 points a game on a 49, 39, 83 clip. If he keeps this pace, there is no reason why he shouldn't be in the All-Star race, even in a stacked Western Conference. However, as good as Lauri is, the Jazz are currently 12th in the Western Conference, quite a bit under 500. Lauri is a great second or third option on a championship contender and could realistically fit on any team in the league seamlessly. A 7-foot historic three-point shooter who isn't much of an offensive creator, but doesn't need to be. This is an ideal player for any team regardless of contention, and Lauri would benefit many contenders in the league today. The Jazz are still a rebuilding team. The Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert trade seem to even get better as time goes on. Danny Ainge has executed this rebuild flawlessly. So why would you trade Lauri? As mentioned before, Lauri is a great second or third option on a championship contender, but the Jazz are in a rebuild. It would be smart to field offers for him right now, as his trade value is the highest, as many contenders would want to get him. Even though he would sort of fit the timeline for the Jazz in the future, I think it would be smarter to trade him as his trade value is peaking in order to get assets to further the rebuild. This would help the Jazz give more minutes to young players like rookies Keyonte George and Taylor Hendricks for development. So which team would be able to help the Jazz further their rebuild while improving their own roster? The Oklahoma City Thunder are currently in the middle of the best rebuild of all time, as they sit at second in the West, led by MVP candidate SGA, Rookie of the Year candidate Chet Holmgren, and young stars with Jay Will, Lou Dort, and rookie Cason Wallace. The Thunder have definitely made it clear that they have arrived in the Western Conference. However, by adding Lauri Markkanen to their already young, loaded roster, this team could get really scary. Not just for now, but for the future. So why don't the two best GMs, Sam Presti and Danny Ainge, get together to get this deal done? The trade that I cooked up goes like this. The Thunder get Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton, and the Jazz get Josh Giddey, Ousmane Dieng, Davis Bertans to match contracts along with 3 to 4 first-round picks. Colin Sexton is there to match salaries again. However, for the Jazz, they move off of him to allow for more minutes for Keyonte George and other young guards. For the Thunder, they get a very solid backup or a potential starter with Giddey gone. For the Jazz, they get a guard and Josh Giddey up to chest of picks already. The Jazz are a young rebuilding team that should really focus on their development of their young core guys like Walker Kessler and Keyonte George. Lauri would be such a perfect along with Chet Holmgren, holding down the paint but stretching out further if he needed. In addition to the Thunder, get a great bench piece with either Lou Dort or Cason Wallace being sent to the bench. This is a great trade for them. It's a realistic dream trade that I would like to see happen. The Jazz furthers their rebuild by getting more assets, but it also helps the greatest rebuild of all time possibly getting their final piece. Make sure to subscribe for more.